What's up, guys? It's me, Loreboy, and welcome back. Wait, I shouldn't say welcome back, but welcome back to the channel, I guess. But bringing it back brings back something new. Today we're gonna read. So, get some popcorn, we're gonna drink, time to relax. We're gonna read Katawa Shoujo. I read this once. Only once. And it's a face cam. But, yeah, like I said before, I read this once before. It's really cool. It's a visual novel. I highly recommend people download it. It's really fun to read. Thing is that people who do know the series will know that I have editing to do later on. But, as of right now, let's just read. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I supposed to still wait out here anyway? I'm sure it's at 4 p.m. Oh my god, I hope you guys are not freezing to death. Ah yes, the note slips between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. Good job. Oh man, I know to meet me, so I'll lose it. Pretty good. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. It's classic, I like this guy. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. This guy's gonna freeze to death. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time is slow to a crawl. I could never write anything like this, because I would just be like, the snow is falling, it's really cold, it's really white. That racist. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting a quiet mood. Someone's approaching me from behind. Oh, this guy's either gonna get the girl of his dreams or he's gonna get mugged. Let's hope it's the first one. Maybe it's just some random person walking in the forest, or are we in a wait, why are we in the middle of a forest? We're not even in a park or anything. We're literally legit in the middle of a forest. Alright, hey, meet me in a forest. You know, away from everyone. No one can hear you scream or anything. Get lost in the forest, why don't you? Hisa, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. Oh, he's a shy guy. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Well, they said he lost a note. You want? Oh god, Japanese names. Real quick, I'm gonna lower music some more and sound effects. I'm not gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna lower it. There we go. Iwanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Alright, sorry about that, I had to pause. Iwanako, oh, I already read this. Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, that was the result. I've been down this same road many times, and I think currently as well. Well, not really. I don't know. Also, she's wearing a skirt in the middle of the winter, in the middle of a snowstorm. I would not do that. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to, I'm not doing a real voice, by the way. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. White transition. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. That's different. I'll back this situation. So, here we are, out in the cold. Observant. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanaka flinches ever so softly against a gust of wind. I'm actually gonna go share it closer to my webcam. That better, I guess. I'm still gotta get used to this webcam thing. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. That better? Webcam? It's like a really small box in the corner. That's actually good. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Back to this. My throat is tight. I doubt I can even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know. It's like a kick to its song. If you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only spikes of read. But this only sent spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! I'm not screaming. The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanaka running towards me. All these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanaka screaming for help in the incessant clatter of the branches above. See, this would have happened if you weren't in a forest. Probably gonna get a lot faster if we weren't in a forest. I probably would have been probably in a park, but it said forest to me. Or something like forest. Also, that was one greatest, like, would you go out with me? Guy freaking asked a question and he passed out. Oh, wait. Oh, we didn't pass out. Katawa Shoujo. I'm gonna make these long parts just so I can get a lot of reading in. Oh, that's cool. A little animation there. Move the mouse out of the way. Trip. Moki, Ryans, and Rayday. Whatever those three guys are, the art is fantastic. That's really cool. FMV animation. Tick, 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 tick. Double tick. Haha, gotcha. Welcome to Surgeon Simulator 2014. You must operate on this kid. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh, damn. I was in a coma? In that whole time, I can probably count the times I left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I wasn't able to go out on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. Really didn't do anything to cheer me up. What did you think about it? I mean, you probably must have been a healthy kid for a long time if your arrhythmia didn't really affect you till now. I mean, I would be like, hey, somehow beat this disease till now, or beat this condition till now. I would be really happy about it. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Ooh. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Oh, fantastic. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down into nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me the sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh yeah, these are classic things you do. Classmates like in a hospital or something that sent a card to them. No, not because you want to. It's like a class thing to do it. Maybe some people were generally concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch a subject that was between us that snowy day ever again. So, did they break up? Seems like it. The hospital. It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. I had surgery done? What? Well, not me, but Sal, I guess. He had surgery done? Was it that bad? So I idly observed the scar that these surgeries had left on my chest, slowly changing its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. And it was a wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I love the stories, and I love this one so far. It's cool. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly hard to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization I didn't know what day of the week it was. That's me every day. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Wow, this is one sad time for him. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. Smiles. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. Oh, don't you love when people do that? My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them. They're even sort of dressed up. This is supposed to be some kind of special occasion. It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers and setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Esau. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. You have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of papers to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. Dad, doesn't get a name, just Dad. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Nope. Why transition again? Whoa! That diarrhea? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Damn right. Nightmares! Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can barely read the text. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only make me feel sicker. Oh. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? Damn, that must suck. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. We cannot work on a cure. However, new medications are always being developed. Modern science. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over not months, over years. You'll be fine. It's just gonna take you a couple of years to get better once we finally make new medicine. I'll show you my phone real quick. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? Exactly. I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Esau. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whenever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Wait, this can... See, when I read this, I actually questioned. Does this count as a disability for him? I guess, because his heart, randomly beats faster. I mean, is it a disability for him? Disabled. What? Am I? Exactly. He's even questioning himself. Is this considered being disabled now? It's a 24-hour nursing staff. It's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff. You wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It's I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This is an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you want to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. Where's my mom in all of this? It's like the dad's talking. Where's the mom? Your father's right. And many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in other hospitals is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I could go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all of this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. White transition. There's that piano again. Act 1. Life expectancy. This is a typical Japanese anime character, his like uniform all messed up shit. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. Oh, it's a fancy school, it's a boarding school. Pretty sure they get like privately funded or something like that. I don't know, I've never been to a boarding school. I'm at a private school, but we don't get funded by the government. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. Oh, sweet, he's happy now. So I walked towards the main building of Yamako Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and a small, fresh-cut grass and all other parky-like things. It's a fancy-looking school. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. Yeah. And that's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this in my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. This makes me wish there was somebody here so I can anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. Me on the first day of school. You just stand there like looking around like, what's going on? I don't see anyone. You freak out. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. Makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Ellipsis, or I'd say ... Only after I stayed in front of the haunting main building, I surprised myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even though I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture noticed me as I entered. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Oh, there! You must be Niki Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your Homer and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. You should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in situations like this. Neither do I. I hate being the center of attention. Because I always like choke or like freak out. I'm like, oh man, everyone's looking at me, what do I do? But I don't do a lot of hand things. I don't know what to do. I have a webcam. I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do hand things. Whatever. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost missed what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Oh, I have to make a decision. Why? I'll be optimistic. Optimistic, Yisao? Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. Ah, great, I chose the answer, I contradict myself. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. Yeah, I'd start to think that too. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. That is a weird looking painting. You see this? Weird. Ah, get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon.
He was sleeping. He wants to sleep downstairs.
I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gaze of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious, the ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames, simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me, and I have something wrong with them, only if it's not just immediately obvious, and I noticed that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tense, I just noticed the kid in the background. I'm very sorry. I am really sorry about that. I just noticed the face he's making, like the troll face. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduced me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that's pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is a cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hand and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. Ugh. That's a very awkward situation. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. I feel like the silence telling me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hasao Nakai. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. Haha, like soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, not being so boring. It's exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say nothing more. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said. Though a few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands. They clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is a class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do stuff better, right? How can I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh, right. Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. As she calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Nakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Oh. Ha 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 ha. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too. But I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan, oh god. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. Looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once, nonchalant, to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short, yet careful, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses, balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytically and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna end it here, guys. Just pause that. Hope you guys enjoyed this, I guess, first part of I don't know. Let's call it Let's Read. Let's read Katawa Shoujo. It's good to be back on YouTube again, and see you guys again for the next part of Katawa Shoujo.